Hello fellow traders. I'm going to go ahead and try to remake this video. As I was making it, there were several interruptions, but let me try to rehash everything in a more consolidated and clean format. So what I've done here is I've gone ahead and added on an adjustment. I've made a regular deposit. This one's a little bit larger than normal, so I now have a total account balance of 900 on deposit. So we're looking at 816 after our drawdown, with 555 of our margin still available. So we've got plenty of room. And this is after I've added on the second trade here, or the fourth trade here, 3003. This is not a fourth trade. This is just simply an adjustment for size. So what I'm looking at, most of you know now that I use a rule of thumb in regards to risk. It makes things a lot easier because these numbers are going to work out pretty close to these ranges. And right now I'm kind of looking at running a 0.01 per 225 of account balance. So that puts us at needing a 0.04. But you'll notice that all of our old positions that we originally opened were 0.03 on each one. And convention would tell us that we need to wait for this trade to finish, but it could still take a significant amount of time for this trade to finish. So I'm also considering the fact that by adding this down here, we get a higher advantage by having a majority of the position down here versus somewhere along the lines of the on the way to our target that we have set at 111.3. So I'm still kind of looking to take the whole thing, but also add in the additional about $60 from putting in that 0.03. Now the reason I arrived at 0.03 to add that in was because we want a 0.04, so that means we're missing 0.01 here, 0.01 here, and 0.01 here in our lot sizing. So I'm just going to combine the missing amount, put it into its own trade, and send it on its way. So I've just hit the button for a buy, and this puts 6,005 in total units, or 0.06005, which can't really do an MT4, but 0.06 for lots is down here. And that's going to actually bring our break-even point now down to about the 109.6 or so, 109.5, whereas before, by not having that position on, our break-even was looking at about 109.8. So that's going to bring the break-even position down even lower. So once price does continue to break up, once it passes about the 109.5, 109.6, we're going to actually be in profit. So then we could actually exercise some of our other options. We could either wait and take the whole complete trade, or we could work out by taking off the bottom trades and working it out in a different way from there. But we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get there. Right now I'm still kind of looking for this full retracement and pull this out to a little bit further vantage point so we can see this clearly. But what we're looking at is to go to this level here. Just from experience, choosing a neckline or somewhere down here probably is not the best idea. A lot of times it does tend to pull back, and once we get this position flipped to short side, we're just going to repeat the same thing here. And actually I need to update that to be 16 because we want to open a position of 0.04 and close out the other 1200 and or 12,005. 3, 5, 6, so that should be 6. So we want to get our total of positions closed out and open a fresh 0.04 once we reach that level. Now this way, by using first in first out to close out the trade, I don't have to guess at the spread. I'm using ODERWISE, and they do have a small spread on the Euro USD of about a half a pip or so on average. Sometimes can split up to 0.08 or 1.2. So by using the first in first out to swap the position around, I don't have to guess that spread at the time price gets there. I just execute the one order and it will take care of everything for me. So I'm going to use first in first out to my advantage for that. Just keep it simple. So let's check one more time, make sure we're good. 3, 6, 9, 12 plus another 3 and 3 makes 1206. Okay, and then we have the 1206, and we want to open up 4,000 or 0.04, and that is what will be remaining if we subtract 12,006 from that. So we should be set up and good to go. And because there is no balance change to the other account, there are no other adjustments. It still has these same positions, which are the 0, 1, 2, and 1 and 2 positions that you see here. The 3003 is the one I added just to compensate for the size difference. So now we are back to a proper rule of thumb of 0.01 per 225 of account. So that gives us quite a balanced risk to reward of what I'm looking for. It takes advantage of the extra funds I just deposited and gives us a little bit stronger leverage in this setup for getting a break even lower without too much more significant risk to the account, especially from our vantage point where we're going. So we've been pulling down for quite a bit of time, so at any point now we should start to reverse up. And with this add-on and power here, the size of power here, we don't need a whole lot to come back to in order to get out of this and make some money. So it's a little bit of a wait. Sometimes these trades can take 3 to 4 weeks to finish out, but if they're making progress in the forward direction and not losing, a little bit of time is not going to hurt anything, because at the end of the day, it's a lot easier to make these small, calculated moves and just various random bits of time and looking at what's going on and giving a little bit of space between the two so you don't have a bunch of positions piled up together, and then eventually it just kind of works out into your favor. So it's kind of a natural thing of the market. It's always going to pull back. It's just a matter of when. We just cast our net and keep on fishing and keep on making money. So let's see how this trade finishes up. I'm going to go ahead and post this and get running before I end up being late to where I need to go. And that's going to be it for this round. We'll just wait and see what happens. I'm probably going to have to do a separate video kind of detailing the failsafe protocol. So in the other account, you notice we have a hard stop limit of 600. We're at 300 in drawdown on euros right now, so we're only halfway to that hard stop. But when we hit that hard stop, we're actually going to hedge. We're not going to stop out. So even if we hit that hard stop limit, this trade would be far from over. There are still several tools available for us to work this out, even from that position. So seeing as how it is a very low chance of needing to trigger the failsafe protocol, or the fact that I have not even needed to use that protocol in over 12 months, we may not even see it in this walkthrough or in this tutorial. So I'll just do a separate video going over all the details of that. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you're following along, you should have positions here and here now at this point, and there should be no need to add anything else. You will have actually much more room down here for drawdown, as I will not, so by having this other position up here. But judging by what we're looking at for the pulls and pushes, I would think we should be due for a retracement at any point. So I'm having very low expectations for this to go much further down. I'm thinking we're going to start pulling back at any moment, especially when we get some ECB news. So we'll see what happens from there, but the news just makes it move. Who cares which direction? As long as it keeps moving, that's all we needed to do. So that's it for now. I'm going to run, and I'll catch you on the next one.